How do you know it's time to break up?
Well, you should learn to trust your intuition. I've always found that whenever that feeling in the gut is like, this is fucked, it's not working, doesn't feel right, something's off, whenever that kind of happens and then you ignore that for a long time, you usually end up regretting it. And if you know you're not going to marry her, you know you don't see her as the mother of your children, and if she's wanting those things, then you need to end it. I mean, if you were, the other question is like, well, how do you know when you should get married?
Hmm.
Well, number one, is that your value system? Does she have a value system that would mean that she's a good candidate for that? Is she going to be loyal? Because the number one most important thing to us guys in a relationship is loyalty. And so if you're going to get married to somebody, she's going to have the same value system. If you're dating a girl and she talks about wanting to get married, but yet she's cheated on pretty much every guy she's ever dated, and even though she's never cheated on you and she treats you well and she loves you and you're applying what's in the book, I mean, current events form future trends, as Gerald Salente says, the Trends Research Institute. So typically, once a cheater, always a cheater. And character is destiny. So it's first and foremost, you got to have similar goals, similar values if you're even going to be in a relationship. But, most people tend to stick around too long. They know that they're not happy. They know that this person's not going to change or that they're not going to be able to get treated the way they want to get treated, but they stick around because they
Hmm.
just, again, most people stay way too long. And we all know people that are like, they really should not be together. They should
Yeah.
break up. And yet, holiday after holiday, they keep coming around and it's a drag to be around them. And you feel bad. You don't really want to. You can look at her, you can look at him, and you're like, that just oil and water, man. They don't mix. Those
Yeah.
two are not a good match, but they stay together. It's like if you like that guy, the fact that he's writing that in,
That's how you
he,
know.
yeah, he's missing the enthusiasm
Yeah.
because when you're happy, you love having this person in your life, and the thought of them not being there is very unpleasant, and you don't like the way that looks.
Hmm.
And so in that case, he's obviously already looking for the exits. And he's just looking for somebody to validate
Right.
his choice. But there's no enthusiasm. He's not like, I love my girlfriend. She's perfect. She's just, there's none of that. It's like, how do
Hmm.
you know when it's time to go?
That's
It
so
doesn't sound
true.
like he even wants to be there anymore.
Yeah. Like that's so true. There's that I've been in situations where I'll start questioning. I'm like, is this really my person? And like, do I really want to be with this person forever? Are they really clicking all my boxes? Or if we're fighting, I automatically start thinking like, should we break up? Is this like worth fighting for? And then I realize I'm just like, I wouldn't be thinking about this if this was really my forever person. I would be thinking about solutions to fix these issues, to fix whatever I am that I'm feeling. I'll communicate these concerns. I wouldn't be jumping to, should we break up? Or when should I break up?
Yeah, you get to a place where you just know you don't want to make the effort because, like the Bob Marley quote, he said, Everybody that you love is going to hurt you. The question is which people are worth suffering for?"
Mm-hmm.
And you go off, the purpose of all relationships is you go there to give. And after the infatuation is worn off, after the honeymoon period is worn off, is this somebody that you still want to give and you still want to contribute to and you still want to do the little things for?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then if you don't feel the desire to do that, if you don't feel the discipline that you want, that this person makes you feel a certain way and treats you a certain way that you want to continue doing these things even when you don't feel like it, then no, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But it's like how often do you meet a good best friend, or how
Mm-hmm.
often do you meet a new best friend? How often do you meet people that you become really close friends with, or that you really jive with? It's like it really doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so as especially as you get older, you learn to recognize who's really good to have in your life and who is not. And it's like you want people who are good to you, good for you, and good for your soul,
Yeah.
and they enrich your life. Like my best friend, every time we get together and hang out, it's like every one of those times that we hang out together and talk, because we talk about all kinds of things, is just a gift. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing his name pop up on my phone. He's like, "Hey, let's get together. Let's talk about this. There's so much things going on," and like I'm excited about that.
Right.
I never get to the point where like, "Oh fuck, it's such a drag hanging out with that dude." It's like every time I hear from him, I'm like, I can't wait to hang out and hear what he's been up to and what's
Yeah.
new and what's exciting. And same thing with women is
Mm-hmm.
that even I have girlfriends from the past, like even my old girlfriend Katie, my English girlfriend. It's like we don't talk a lot, but when I do hear from her, I'm always excited to hear from her. I'm always excited to hear what she's up to or what's been going on in her life.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why she's still in my life 17, 18 years after we were last together, because she always adds value to it. She always enriches my life. It's thinking of her makes me smile, just like my closest friends or my closest family. That you think about that person, it makes you smile. You're glad
Mm-hmm.
they're in your life. If somebody's negative and they're not fun to be around or they're a drag to be around, and but yet you just don't like, some people don't like confrontations, and
Right.
so they avoid the breakup because they don't want the confrontation or they want to have to explain themselves. Hey, what happened to you guys? Why'd you break up? I thought you were so happy. What? Ooh.
Right. Me, I hate confrontation, but I've learned to do it because really it's like a level of fear that you don't want to feel. And instead of just breaking through that little itsy crack, just confront, just deal with it right then and there, and then you don't have to deal with it anymore. Why drag it on and put yourself in a worse situation if you can make it better?